So this right here, this is a gaming computer. And I found it at a thrift store. Let's talk about that. What's going on YouTube? Ben here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be playing games off of a gaming computer that I found from a thrift store. Everything I found today is going to be stuff I got from the thrift store, excluding my desk and my gaming chair, but the headset, mouse, keyboard, the monitor, and even the gaming computer are all going to be found from thrift stores. And I do have some video proof on some of them, but the thing is I started making this video, or had this idea a little bit after I already found some of the components, so I wasn't thinking about recording them. That being said, if you don't believe me, I can't force you to believe me, so I don't blame you, but at the same time, I have no reason to lie. I do this for a living. I go and buy and resell from thrift stores. So that being said, I do spend 25 hours a week at thrift stores, so it's pretty easy for me to find things like this. Before we get started, I do just want to say I bought all of this for this video, and it's not that I spent a lot of money, but I did spend a decent amount of money. So that being said, if you guys would like the video, it'd be much appreciated. Comment down any suggestions, questions, anything like that, and also subscribe to see future content from myself. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That being said, this video is recorded live, so if you want to see some really cool behind the scenes stuff like that, don't forget to check out the live streams. Alright, I know that the majority of you guys are here purely to see that gaming computer, so let's get started by me grabbing that and talking about some of the specs. Normally, it's lit up with a bunch of LEDs and stuff like that, but obviously it's not. But what can you kind of expect from a gaming computer I found out from a thrift store? I do know it's fully functioning. The only thing I did to it earlier was download Apex for the stream, just so I could get that out of the way. But other than that, I haven't really touched it much. Here we can see the inside of the computer a lot better. So we got the Kingston drive. There's the hard drive, or the GPU. Sorry, what am I? There's the CPU cooler. And then of course there's some red RAM sticks. You can kind of just see one of them really. But that is what that's looking at. A 450 watt, if I'm not mistaken, power supply. Which for a computer like this, not a problem. But that sure enough right there is the... Alright, so I'm going to have these images up on the screen for you guys, but the processor is a Intel Core i5-2500. It is a 4-core, quad-core, right? Awesome, but it's only 4 threads, and it runs at 3.3 gigahertz and boosted up to 3.7 gigahertz. I have no idea when this processor came out. It's got 6 megabytes cache, but this is an older processor. Just heads up, we are running DDR3 RAM on this thing. This thing's got some age to it. And with that, the RAM is also, it's running 1600 megahertz, like 1666 or something like that. We'll pull it up in just a second. But this computer is outdated, straight up. So, like I said, I haven't even booted up Apex, let alone see what it can really do. But that is the processor that we're running. When it comes to the graphics card, we are running Team Red, a Radeon HD 6850. This is a 1 gigabyte DDR5 Express 2.1 graphics card. This thing is so old. We're already on DDR6. I just got a 3070 Ti put in here, so I've got 8 gigabytes of DDR6 RAM, all that good stuff. This is crazy to think that this is what we used to game on, and here we are now. I don't know when the person built this, obviously. The person was kind of balling on a budget even back then. This case does have a lot of wear and tear. It's got, it's not glass, it's plastic. What is that called? Tempered glass, right? It's not tempered glass, it's tempered plastic. All right, so enough of the gaming computer. I'm sure you're wondering, what type of monitor could you find at a thrift store, right? Well, let me move this out of the way, and I'll show you this pretty cool monitor I found. Alright, once again, pretty hard to see with this lighting and everything. But this is, if I'm not mistaken, which I will put it up on the screen if I am, but this is Asus BG248. If you know that model number, you know what we're looking at. If you don't, I don't blame you. But we are looking at a 24-inch monitor, which is my preferred aspect, or size. That's running 1080p. Okay, sweet, 1080p. I don't know if this computer can run 1080p. We'll see. And it's 144 hertz. That's right. This monitor runs 144 hertz. It's got a display port on the back. And I found this at a thrift store. I don't know if it gets much better than that, really. I mean, you know, I could find a 1440p or 240 hertz, but like for a thrift store, are you kidding me? Like, this is a find to find something like that, right? Like, to be able to get that computer, that's yeah. I am so proud of that. I'm so happy. So that's the monitor that we're going to be rocking. Boot up. Now this I did have video evidence of because I was already at this point building the whole setup. But with this, I found it very dirty. It was not clean. One of the biggest things. So I go to a thrift store called The Bins, which I will talk about in a second. But I go to a thrift store called The Bins, and it's a Goodwill outlet. With it, things get thrown into just these large boats. That's what we call them, or bins. And with that, either the employees just don't care, so they'll throw it in there, or the customers also don't care, so they'll just throw things around. And so there's oftentimes really good monitors or TVs and things like that, but because it was thrown in there or whatever, there may be some physical damage or some scratches, things like that, and that's just not ideal. So the fact that I found this, it was dirty, so I did clean it up and everything like that, but no scratches or anything, I'm so hyped about that. All right, so Windows has already booted up for us and everything like that. I know it's going to be super hard to see with the glare. Don't worry, I'm going to plug it into my Elgato in just a second. But monitor's up and running, computer's up and running. What am I going to use to play games, right? How am I going to navigate around this? I got all of it right over here. So oddly enough, the keyboard is probably the quote-unquote lowest quality thing I found. And what I mean by that is it was disgusting. It was so dirty. I've got pictures and videos of that as well. But with this, it is missing two keycaps. Two keycaps, right? F1 and F6. That's not that big of a deal, right? But this is your typical Corsair keyboard. This one is Strafe mechanical gaming keyboard. And sure enough, it is a mechanical keyboard. Got a little whoop, and it's even RGB. Nice little red. All right, so that's the keyboard we're working with. What about what mice are we going to be using? I'll show you some low ones and some high ones, but I'm also just going to grab the mouse pad real fast. So I doubt that these are mouse pads, but I love this thing, and so I actually grabbed them, and I plan on using them personally. But these are like race car tracks, right? And it has the same texture as a mouse pad, very smooth, and it also has a rubberized gripped bottom, so that'll like hold onto the desk real nice. But I think that this is just designed for like some kid to have at a desk or a kitchen table or whatever and play around with his little Hot Wheels or whatever. But for a mouse pad, like for starters, it's large, right? I'm an average size male, 5'10" or whatever. Like I'm not small, and this is pretty good length. So that's the mouse pad that I chose to grab. I find regular mouse pads all the time, but like this one's way too cool. So that one's like a construction area, and I actually found two of them. This one is like a little racetrack area. Overall, really cool finds. Of course, the mice, like I said. And we find stuff like this. I don't even know what brand this is. There's literally nothing on this. 3D optical mouse. That's all it says. This thing is so cheap. This mouse right here is, oh my, like just, it's such poorly made plastic. This does have RGB on it, things like that. The mouse, it does work. Got some RGB, stuff like that. And I can move it around. But I was using this earlier, and it has a double click thing, right? So if I click on something, it just sometimes double clicks. That's not very reliable, so that's a loss, right? I spent maybe 75 cents on this, to be honest. This though was a loss, so that's a bummer. That being said, you find generic mice all the time at the thrift stores, but you also find stuff like this. Now it's kind of hard to tell what this is, but this is a Razer Naga Chroma. So if you know what this is Razer's like MMORPG mouse. This has 12 buttons on the side of it. This is not the magnetic one where you can have the 3 different side pieces. This just has the one piece. But are you kidding me? A Naga, this is like $80. And I found this once again at the thrift store. Probably spent $1 on this. So this is the mouse that we are going to be using. In all honesty, this is not my preferred FPS mouse. It's overall pretty big, pretty heavy, things like that. But if you're getting into gaming, who cares, right? Or if you are an MMORPG player, this is great for you. So get this plugged in. All right, so we're done, right? We're done. Keyboard, mouse, mouse pad, monitor, gaming computer, we're done, right? No, I have also found gaming headsets. So let me show you a couple of those. I find this one in particular, there's a blue model and a red model. We found the red model. But I find these all the time at the thrift store, and sometimes the employees think that these are like nicer, which they are not. This brand is Be Excellent. Like the B as in the bug, and then excellent. It's a, yeah, that's that. It's got some leather cups, stuff like that. A microphone. This just plugs in through a USB and a headphone jack. Pretty generic. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even test this, but I did buy this. Not very comfortable. Once again, cheap plastic, nothing too crazy. So this is actually not the headset that we're going to be using today. This is the headset that we're going to be using. And you may not recognize it right away. And in no way is this a phenomenal pair of headphones, but these are Turtle Beach PX21s. These are a well-known brand name, if you guys did not know. These sell for like $20 on eBay, so probably after this video, I'm still going to sell these because that's what my job is. I did test these earlier on the computer. Still, once again, pretty cheap. I wasn't terribly unsatisfied with the quality. This plugs in very similarly with a USB and a headphone jack. This one is more designed for the Xbox, I believe, because it has like a Xbox controller, like a little plug-in, and then it's like got a base, a chat, and a game knob. So I think that this is more designed for the Xbox or PlayStation, but you can still use it on PC. So the fact that we found this, it comes with a nice retractable microphone, which when I was talking into earlier, it was feeding back into the ears. So this does work. I had it plugged into here. I will not be plugging into there because I want to give you guys the full experience. So instead of me using this microphone, we're going to be using this one during our gaming session. So that is all super cool, but I do just want to throw it out there. I have found more things at the thrift store than just this. I found this off-brand little half keyboard, once again, mechanical. It does work. This was made by Sades, maybe, something like that. Once again, this isn't anything too crazy. This isn't like the Razer one or anything like that. But, I mean, I would consider using this for my personal setup for when I'm gaming, so that way I just have more space at my desk and things like that. But this, once again, I spent like $1 on this. Super cool find. Once again, we're not going to be using that for today's video, purely because of the whole, like, full keyboard setup and all that stuff. That's going to be mostly what you guys are looking for. But sure enough, did find this. I mean, I find random things like this right here. This is just a USB extension cable. So if you guys need one of these run like 20 bucks online for whatever reason. And sure enough, just less than $1. Here's your little 3-prong computer cable, which is such a universal cable. The monitor uses it and the computer uses it. Stuff like Xbox power cables use it. You know, my monitors use them. Like, this is such a universal cable, and I find them all the time because how universal it is. And sure enough, yeah, less than $1 for this cable. I also find DisplayPort cables. So this, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to plug in this computer fully with the whole HDMI cables and stuff like that. We'll see what we can do because I'm going to try to capture my game while recording for you guys. But yeah, a DisplayPort cable if you need to get 144 frames. But you also deal with some things like this cable here is sticky. Why is it sticky? We don't know. No, I do know why it's sticky. When they had this together, they had it like rubber band together, and then they took some tape and taped the rubber band. This one was sold in a normal Goodwill and then eventually showed up at the bins. So when it's at a normal Goodwill, it normally has a Goodwill sticker on it. Whereas if it's at the bins, it does not have any stickers on it. Everything is paid by the weight. So I'm going to have this image up on the screen for you guys. But as you guys can see right here, there's stuff where it says like the clothing, shoes, purses, household wear, stuff like that is $1.49 per pound. And all the electronics fall underneath the household wares, at least at my bins, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and each each Goodwill outlet pays for things differently and just overall has things set up differently. But for me, it's $1.49 per pound. So with that being said, this whole setup, I'll have it calculated up on the screen right over here. But whatever this price is, like, I don't even know what it is, but whatever this price is, that's not a bad price, you know? And it goes on even further, like plates, cups, bowls, anything that you're going to use in the kitchen really is 69 cents a pound. And then my personal favorite, this is what I essentially do for a living, is the books, DVDs, CDs, and records are all 49 cents. Most of the things that I buy are books. That's like my main reseller. So I buy it for 49 cents and I can sell it for a lot more than that. So that's the main reason why I go to the bins. And then if you see underneath that, even goes further, as like under 10 pounds. So if an item weighs just under 10 pounds, right? Let's say it's 9 pounds or something like that. Instead of charging you $1.49 per pound, they're just going to charge you $5. And then so on and so forth. So you do get some savings there. I'm not aware of how much these weigh, but like I said, I'll have it all weighed and over here on the price. But this is overall a very cheap setup. Anyone can do this if they just worked over the weekend or anything like that and happen to find this stuff. That's the key, is that finding this stuff is very hard. When you go to the Goodwill bins or the Goodwill outlet or whatever you want to call it, everything is being cycled out. For my store, there's 3 rows and it gets cycled out every 45 minutes. Every 45 minutes, that set of row bins gets taken out and a new set comes in. That is millions, and I literally mean this, millions of product coming in and out of the store every 45 minutes. So it's an overall pretty crazy experience, especially to watch. But for me to find all this stuff, there is a lot of luck involved, but it's also just consistency. If you keep on going, you're going to find it. And I resell all my stuff, right? I buy stuff and I resell it. I plan on reselling everything here as well. I'll sell it all in a lot or doing this or that. I could sell this all together probably for probably close to like $800, right? Monitor, computer, mouse, keyboard, the headset, all for $100, and just say, here you go. Or sorry, did I say 100? No, 800. And you get a whole gaming setup, and that's pretty cool. So that's what I do for a living. And I won't get into too much detail because I don't need any more competition, but we're going to play some games on this. Right now I've got this HDMI going to my Elgato, so that way we can record the gameplay on screen. But that means that there's nothing going to this monitor. So I think I'm going to plug in that display port that I have in here and plug it in over there. And then that should make it to where I can play the game over here on this monitor, on this setup, and you guys can still see it live. Now, from there, that is going to put some strain on the graphics card, but it shouldn't be too much to the point where it's going to drastically drop the frame rate or anything like that. But we're about to find out. I did want to give you guys the full experience. And what I mean by that is we're no longer going to be using this microphone. Hello? We are instead going to be using the microphone that comes from the gaming headset. So I have no idea what this sounds like. You guys are going to be the judge of it. What does it sound like? Does it sound horrible? Or does it sound good? I really don't know. Chat is saying, I got Jesse saying it's not terrible, but it's not like my mic, which is to be expected. And then Water is just saying bad mic. So I'm sorry, but that's just what we're gonna have to work with. But we officially have the full setup. I know it doesn't look good, right? We got cables all over the place. Mind you, this is my extra workspace. Like, I'm not trying to cable manage this. I'm also using pre-existing HDMI cables and Ethernet cables and all that stuff. So just bear with me on the way it looks. That being said, let's play some games. That's why the game might not launch. I mean, not even Steam is launching, Jesse. Should I give it a quick reboot? Quick little reboot, chat. I think that might be the play. Well, this is a great example of me showing you guys what it looks like for the computer to reboot. I believe the operating system is on the SSD, which, mind you, the SSD is a 250 gigabyte. Why is it green? Why is it green? It's green over there. Okay, back to normal. Okay. The SSD is a Kingston, which, I mean, boot up time, not bad. All right, there we go. Steam booted up. We are on a brand new account because I did not want to mess with anything else. So, yep, let's go ahead and boot up Apex. This will be the first time that I also boot up Apex. I have not done anything. I downloaded it earlier today just to make sure that the stream was ready for tonight, but that is it. We may have to run it at 720p. The point is to show what a thrift store computer can run at. Because right now, it seems to be booting up perfectly fine. I still cannot hear anything. I've got it at max volume and it's got a nice little buzzing going on. Here we are, guys. Like, here we are. I'm automatically gonna drop all of it. It's already looking like we're in 720p, to be honest. It looks like that's the recommended stuff for us. Yeah, it's already running in 720p. So let's go ahead and put some of this stuff on. It says triple buffered. We want to turn that off. It's not even letting me change some of these settings, it looks like. Yeah, it's just automatically doing low on a lot of this. So we're just going to continue doing the low idea. 1280 by 720, perfectly fine for what we're going to be using it for. All right. So once again, the fans are running. I don't know how loud they are, especially I don't know if you guys are going to be able to even hear them on this mic, but this monitor also is adjustable.
You can call me Bloodhound.
Ooh.
Let us begin with basic movement. Complete the checklist on your HUD.
We're getting a whopping
Follow me. Sliding down
20 frames per second. All right. So this may be an unplayable experience. Let's see. I think that there's a gameplay. We want to see there should be performance display on. All right. Yep. Over in the top right, it's telling me what I'm getting right now. We're looking at 30 frames per second to 35. Oh, that's peaked at like 39. So mind you, this is just in the training mode and we're getting 30 frames per second. So let's get done with this training mode and let's go ahead and try to play a real game. We'll see what we can do. Let's see how long it takes us to load into good old World's Edge. Once again, the only things that we did not find from the thrift store are the desk, which is something you could easily find at a thrift store, and the gaming chair. Those are the only two things that we did not find. All right, let's see what our squad is looking like. We got a 7 and a 14 on our squad. Let's get carried, boys. I don't know what we're gonna be getting into. A whole 15 frames is what we're gonna be getting into. I'm just gonna give up the jump master. Let somebody else take control of that. We are sitting at 15 frames right now. I know it's very hard to see that number, especially being in a 720p, but this is laughable. Once again, though, it's a computer I found at a thrift store. This could have been in someone's basement for all we know, really, right? Like this could have just been straight chilling. All right, we're at 20 frames right now. But yeah, this computer, I don't know the specs, or like I know the specs, but I don't know the age of the specs, right? So like this could have been a computer that's just been sitting in someone's basement for like 10 years. All right, we're getting up to 50. That's what that just said. Up to 50 is not that bad. There's a guy over here, it looks like. Sitting at about 30 frames, 25, 30 frames. Once again, that up to 50 caught me off guard there for a second. This is giving me my Nintendo Switch vibes. I don't know if any of you guys have played Apex on your Nintendo Switch, but this is a very similar vibe, in my opinion. Of like just horrible. But we got this up and running. Like this is sick, guys. I don't know about you. I'm pretty hyped about this right now. It's playable. We haven't gotten to a fight yet. So we're just gonna have to see what we can get out of it. We kind of... Oh! Dang. It's overall some pretty good shots right there. We're gonna nade it at. It's clear. That's one thing for sure. All right, I do only have 36, now 33 energy. So there's only so much that we can do with that. Let's get a shield cell. Still sitting at like 30 frames, guys. This is pretty poggers if you ask me. If we can get into a late circle, that would be ideal, because then we can really test to see what that like close quarters combat. These guys came from fragments, so they may clippity clappity our cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Unless we get the jump on them. Which, mind you, my audio is not very loud. Yep. Alright, we're at 20 frames right now. Who's this guy? Oh, I was literally switching weapons to shoot this guy. That sucks. That really sucks. Saying you're switching weapons. Alright. So, it clearly does drop down to 20 frames when you are just in a fight. Is that why I died? No, I died because I'm an actual factual trash can. Dog water. But, you know, I'm not going to complain too much. It wasn't like dropping frames as in like going down to 0 frames, but it was like, you know, dropping down some frames. But overall, it's not god awful. Let's go ahead and do a quick exit to desktop and I guess run Cinebench maybe. I'd have to download it, so let me go ahead and do that. So here's where we're at. Yeah. That's, this is where we're at. So how's the weather? Okay, so it says it down here. I'm gonna get close because it's directly underneath this. I'll have it edited for you guys. But we are looking at on a point scale, 2,081 points. That is what we're running. So is it good? No. But we weren't expecting anything amazing. And like, that's totally fine. I'm okay with what we have, right? I'm probably gonna sell it not for 800 like I was saying earlier, probably for a lot less. We'll see. But the fact that we were able to run Apex as is pretty cool, right? 30 frames, it is what it is. But like, can you really complain? It's really hard to. But yeah, let's go ahead and kind of like wrap some things up. Would I recommend going to a thrift store to find video game or PC or computer parts, accessories, anything like that? Yes, I 1000% would. There's a lot of luck involved in a lot of this, right? There's a lot of luck. I'm not afraid to admit that, right? I'm not saying, oh, go to your local Goodwill. They've got gaming computers on stock, dude. Like, just, they're on the shelves. No, I got very lucky. I'm a very fortunate person to be in the situation I am in, but this is 100% possible. I proved that it's possible because it's all just luck-based. So, is this the best thing in the world? No, but it still is really freaking cool that I got this, right? I'm pretty proud of this, right? So, with it, I mean, what we could have found in here could have been an i7, right? Could have been an up-to-date i7. It could have had like a 10 series graphics card or even a 20 series. The fact that we got what we got is what it is, but you could have got something so much better. I mean, in comparison, computer versus monitor, a monitor's top tier. 1080p, 24 inches at 144 hertz, like, that's a top tier monitor. Really cool. Keyboard, up to date. Sure, I had to clean it. Was really gross, but still, it's all completely tangible, completely usable, all that cool stuff. So, would I recommend going? 100%. If you want to go to the thrift store that I go to, the bins or the outlet, literally just Google in your area, Goodwill outlet and something will show up. It's a very common thing. It's a very well-known thing. And there's millions of product coming in and out. Are you guaranteed going to find something? No. That's the gamble. That's the risk. You're not going to guarantee find something. You may find, I'll be honest, you're probably going to find something. It may not be the gaming stuff, but you're probably going to find something that you want, right? A toy, a Nintendo thing, this or that, or this piece of clothing. This shirt I got at the thrift store. Like, I have dozens of shirts that I found at thrift stores. That energy sword that you see right there, I found that at the thrift store. That gun that's a controller, found that at the thrift store. I have like dozens of Rubik's Cubes down here that I found at thrift stores. Like, a lot of the stuff in this room I got at thrift stores. I've got a PS2 back there that I found at a thrift store. So it is completely possible to find some really cool things out there. But enough of all of that. My name is Ben. If you guys did enjoy the video, please drop a like, share it with a friend, share it with your parents. Let them know, hey, this is a possibility. Would you mind taking me to the thrift store? Something like that. Don't forget to comment any questions or suggestions you have down below. And if you want to see future content by myself, hit that subscribe button. Once again, I live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes also on Saturdays. And with that, like this video that you guys are watching right now was all done live. So pretty cool. If you guys want to see some of those, like I said, hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. My name is Ben. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys next time.